Good morning, everyone. Let's just wait for like a couple of minutes for others to join. I can see number of people is growing here, which is good to see. Just to introduce myself, my name is Vera. I'm corporate services specialist from Virtuzone. And today we are going to discuss Golden Visa options. So just let's give it like a couple of more minutes for the people to join, please. Okay, yeah. So to give you a brief, I'm pretty much sure all of you know what we are doing as a company. So we provide pretty much everything you might need for your UAE business. We help with company setup, with opening bank account, opening both personal and business. So we help getting you Golden Visa. We also assist with accounting and tax. So yeah, today we're gonna discuss Golden Visa options. So, and basically the reason why we decided to choose this topic for today's webinar, because probably a lot of people know about some options, but again, as we're living in the UAE, there are a lot of changes every day. So, and we're going to discuss what exactly was changed in terms of Golden Visa options so that you will be sure whether you would be qualified. And yeah, let's just start then. Just a second, please. Let me share my screen. And yeah, at the end of the webinar, we can discuss your questions. You can see a Q&A button where you can address all of the questions related to Golden Visa. All right. So for those who just joined us, my name is Vera. I'm corporate services specialist from Virtuzone, and today we're gonna discuss Golden Visa options. As a company, we assist with different services, including company setup, bank account opening, Golden Visa, accounting, and tax services as well. Yeah, here you can see we are focused not only on company setup, but we do provide different services, which can be really helpful for all UAE residents and company owners. Yeah, so in general, the Golden Visa was introduced in 2019 in the UAE, and it allows different people, including investors, entrepreneurs, outstanding students from all over the world to get 10-year resident visa in the UAE. And let's just discuss quickly options, and then we'll dive into each of them and discuss in more details. In general, who can get Golden Visa in the UAE? It's property owners, it's skilled workers with high position and high salary in the UAE company, individuals with a fixed deposit into the local banks, CEOs and managing directors of large known companies, professionals, including scientists, researchers, PhD holders, and UAE university students with and graduates with a GPA of 3.8 or more. Let's cover benefits of Golden Visa in the UAE, like in general, why people can be interested in considering getting Golden Visa. So first of all, Golden Visa, it's a 10-year visa in the UAE. So you don't actually need to come each 2 years for your visa renewal, spend your time, spend your money waiting for your visa to be renewed, right? So you can also sponsor your family members for 10 years, which is also a great opportunity. And you can sponsor your kids, your spouse, and even household staff to get Golden Visa. So one more good thing about getting Golden Visa is that apart from being a resident of the UAE for 10 years, you also can get advantage from government agencies and private companies and get something at a discounted rate. For example, you can get an advanced medical insurance at a very good rate, and also you can get your driving license with a discount. So in terms of time frame, it really depends on what route you're choosing to get your Golden Visa, but you can keep in mind that for property owners, the time frame of getting Golden Visa approved is around 5 to 7 working days, and for other categories, it can take around 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna cover the options of getting Golden Visa for property owners. Again, there are different routes for this type of visa. Let's start with the first one. In case you have a title deed for your property and the value of the property is 2 million, you can get your 10-year visa. Basically, what important thing you need to know here about this type of visa is that the title deed should be in your individual name, not the company name. If you are sharing the property with your spouse, it's totally fine. You still can get your visa. Just in this case, we would also need to get your marriage certificate attested for the UAE. If you don't have a marriage certificate attested, it's totally fine because we do assist with this process as well. So you basically can use our assistance for this as well. From the documents, we would need just title deed for your property, your personal documents, right? So one more important thing I want to mention here is that, let's say, value of the property mentioned on your title deed is less than 2 million, but you purchased it some time ago, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, right? So, and probably in this case, the current value of the property is 2 million or more. What we would do in this scenario, we would just get your documents and make sure, check from our side that the current value of the property is going to be enough for your Golden Visa. And we would get you a valuation certificate issued by Dubai Land Department. It's basically the document where the DLD would confirm the current value of the property. And yeah, we would get you Golden Visa even if the property is less than 2 million, but according to the current market rate, it's 2 million or more. Then another option, if you have a property, but it's mortgaged, yeah. So it's totally fine if it's mortgaged. So the main requirement is that the property should be 2 million or more, right? So in this scenario, we would need to get NOC from the bank where the property is mortgaged. In this NOC, the bank should confirm that you have a mortgage, the amount of your loan, how much you already paid for this property, right? And that the bank has no objection for you to get Golden Visa. So this letter should be addressed to Dubai Land Department. Okay, yeah, this is the option of mortgaged property, right? So from list of required documents, it's pretty much the same. Just the only difference is that for this type of road, you would need to request NOC from the bank. Again, we always check all of the documents. We always assist. We always check whether the visa would be approved. So if you don't feel sure about your documents, you're always welcome to provide us with them so that we can check with our team, and you wouldn't have to, spend a lot of time on going to Dubai Land Department, trying to receive approval yourself, check everything. Yeah. So the only thing you need to do, you need to be in touch with one of our specialists, share your documents, and the rest of work would be done from our side. All right. So let's talk now about little bit different scenario in case it's not, you don't have a title deed, right? It's an off-plan property. Basically, for off-plan properties, it's still possible to get a Golden Visa. Just the requirements and list of required documents would be a little bit different in this case. So according to general requirements, the property should be at least 40% constructed. However, as we are a company with 15 years of experience, and we did a lot of visas, including golden visas for our clients, we have experience in getting exceptional approvals for off-plan properties, even with less percentage of construction. So again, the value of the property in this scenario should be still 2 million, right? There is no minimum paid up amount required from January 2024. And yeah, in this case, we would need to get documents from your side, including initial contract of sale, statement of account, where it should be mentioned how much you already paid for the property. And we would be able to check for you in advance whether your exact case would be approved. And yeah, and we would do Golden Visa for you. So again, what you need to do, you just need to share the documents with us, and we would check and confirm everything for you from our side. All right. So, and another options in case you do have a property, you do have a title deed for it, but you're sharing it with your partner. Let's say it's your friend or your partner, whoever, right? In this case, the property value should be 4 million. And the recent change is that there is no minimum paid up amount required, which is also very good. So yeah, the main idea is that if you're sharing the property with your partner, the value under your name should be 2 million dirhams, and still you can get 10-year golden visa and then sponsor your family members for 10 years again. All right. So another option of getting visa based on property ownership for those who have property value of 750 dirhams or more, it would be visa for 2 years. Okay, and the requirements are pretty much the same in terms that the title deed should be under your personal name, not the company name. And again, if you're sharing this with your wife or your husband, it's still fine. Just in this case, you would need to provide marriage certificate, and one of you would be like the main applicant of visa and would be able to sponsor another one to get a dependent visa. So for this type of visa, one more document which would be required is a good conduct certificate from Dubai Police, which we again can assist you with without any problem. So this is the option in case you do have a title deed of property value 750 dirhams or more. And another option is in case it's off-plan property, still we can get approval for your 2-year visa. Just you would need to provide the documents such as initial sale of contract, statement of account, and your personal documents, including your passport and visa and Emirates ID if you're a UAE resident at the moment. All right. So these were the options of getting visas through property road. I can see there are some questions. We will for sure come back to them a little bit later on. Now let's discover more options of getting 10-year visa in the UAE. Even if you don't have a property, it's totally fine. Don't worry. Still, there are other ways how you can be qualified for Golden Visa. So we're gonna run through them now. All right. So who else can be qualified for 10-year visa in the UAE? It's high salary professionals. So basically for this type of visa, you're supposed to have a managerial position and high salary, right? So basically the salary should be 30,000 dirhams or more. And what is very important to know is that all the information mentioned in your resident visa, in your employment contract should be matching, right? So that it all would demonstrate that you are professional with high salary. We would need your bachelor's degree attested for the UAE. Again, if you do have a bachelor's degree, but it's not attested, it's totally fine. We can assist with the process of legalization of your diploma as well. In terms of other requirements for this type of visa, you need to work at the same company with this high salary and high position for 6 months at least, and you need to be a UAE resident at least for 1 year. You would need to provide your 6 months bank statement, again, to show that you do receive this salary from the UAE company. And yeah, in terms of the time frame, it takes like around 4 to 6 weeks to get this type of visa. It really depends on the emirate, because, for example, for Dubai, I would say it's quicker to get Golden Visa rather than for Northern Emirates, but still it is possible. It's just that there is some difference in terms of the time frame of your application. So again, what is so good in doing this type of visa through ours? It's not, I wouldn't say that it's really easy to get this type of visa if you do it on your own, because there are a lot of documents required. And sometimes it happens that you have a high position and you have a high salary, but in the documents, the information isn't really matching. So what we do from our side is that we would collect all of the documents from your side, check them properly with our legal department, and we would let you know what exactly should be changed to make sure that your 10-year visa is approved. And moreover, we guarantee Golden Visa approval, which means that you can feel totally safe about using our service, right? We would guide you through each step and complete all of the processes, and your involvement wouldn't be required much, just like once for VIP medical test. And sometimes they request a visit of the applicant to immigration, where our PRO would accompany you as well. All right. Another option of getting Golden Visa. So for example, you do have a high salary of 30,000 dirhams or more, but you don't have a managerial position such as general manager or executive director, right? So there is an option applicable for specialists in engineering. In terms of the requirements, you would need to provide your bachelor's degree attested for the UAE from the relevant field. You're supposed to work in one of the following fields, which you can see on the slide, including big data, computer engineering, electronic engineering, software engineering, etc. Again, for this type of visa, you would also need to provide 6 months bank statement and no objection certificate from the company, where they should confirm the duration of your employment, your salary, your position, and again, they should confirm that they have no objection for you to get Golden Visa. I want to mention one more advantage, which just comes to my mind now. Basically, a good thing about this type of visa, so let's say you have a managerial position, or you are a specialist in engineering or science, and you're working at some UAE company, right? And then something happened and you leave the company, or I don't know, the company is closed by some reason, you will still have your golden visa. It will be saved, right? It will not be canceled just because you leave the company or just because the company is closed. And the reason why, actually, the company, as I mentioned, should provide a no objection certificate. It's basically the document where the company confirms that they have no objection for the applicant to get golden visa. So, and you can get your visa for 10 years, so you can sponsor your family members. And even if you leave the company, it's totally fine. You'll still have your visa active, which I believe is really good thing to know. All right. So now we're done with discussing golden visa based on high salary or for engineers and scientists. Let's move to another options. All right, so if you, let's say, don't have a property in the UAE, but you do have funds to invest in the UAE, you can consider the option of getting your golden visa for 10 years based on fixed deposit into the local bank. Basically, what you need to do is you need to have a bank account under your personal name in the UAE, and you need to deposit 2 million dirhams for 2 years. So based on this deposit, the bank would issue the letter addressed to immigration, where the bank would confirm the deposit amount for 2 years. And again, they would need to confirm that they have no objection for you to get 10-year golden visa. One more requirement for this type of visa based on fixed deposit is that you would need to provide a jari under your personal name. All right. So, and again, what is so good about this exact option? I would say that first of all, the bank will give you some rate for your deposit, obviously. And as we are a big company and we're not just processing your application, based on the documents you provided. We have experience in different fields, right? So we also assist with bank account opening, as I previously mentioned. So we would be also able to advise like which bank you can go to, which we consider as a good one, and which can provide you a good rate comparing to another. All right. Okay, I think that's the main points of bank deposit investor golden visa. Let's move to another type of getting visa. This visa is called like special talent or nomination visa. It's also issued for 10 years. And the requirements are the following: that you need to get a recommendation letter from the relevant authority of the UAE. And who can be qualified for this type of visa are people who contributed somehow in the UAE economy or UAE culture or sports, right? So apart from the letter, you would need to provide your CV, your portfolio, your media links, which can prove how strong your case is. And of course, your personal documents, including your passport, Emirates ID, visa, etc. So this type of visa, I would say, is really specific. So if you're not sure whether you would be qualified, I would suggest you booking consultation with one of our specialists, so that the specialist would be able to check your documents, your portfolio. Again, after we study your case, we would be able to advise you properly what exactly should be changed. Probably there is something missing in your case. We would be able not just to process your application, right? We are also here to help you to understand in advance what should be changed in your exact case for your golden visa to be approved. And again, you will be able to sponsor your family members as well. Let's now move to another type of visa, which is called retirement visa. So this retirement visa is applicable for applicants who is 55 years old or above, right? And who have worked for not less than 15 years in the UAE or outside of the UAE. And you can provide, get proof of income, not less than at least 15,000 dirhams. For this type of visa, you would also need to provide a jari. Then there are several options how you can get this retirement visa. This is the first one. Let's move to the second option. In case you do have property in the UAE, value of 1 million dirhams, and your age is 55 years old or more, you can still get your 5-year visa based on property ownership of 1 million dirhams. Another option of getting retirement visa would be applicable for those who have financial savings of no less than 1 million dirhams, or you have an yearly income of 180,000 dirhams. The validity of this type of visa is 5 years. Still, you can sponsor your family members. And yeah, that's it, I believe, for retirement visa. These are the main points I wanted to let you know. Now, I believe we can discuss some questions regarding Golden Visa, which I have in here. And then we would move to one more important topic, which is really important for all people who have any type of UAE assets. All right. Yeah, I can see some questions here. For example, what qualifies you to get a golden visa without owned property? Again, as I mentioned, we discussed some options. So for example, if you don't have a property, you can consider option of getting golden visa through high salary route, through bank deposit, through, let's say, just a second, please. Yeah, you can also consider retirement visa in case your age is 55 years old or more. All right. Okay, let's discuss the next question. I have an investment of USD 550,000, which is around 2 million dirhams in international bonds through UAE Bank. I have investment letter from the bank addressed to GTRFA stating the value of bonds in USD and equivalent dirhams and that I cannot sell them for 2 years. All right, thank you very much for your question. So let's discuss it. For this type of visa based on fixed deposit, what is important to note here? The deposit should be done in dirham currency only, and it should be like just funds, right? It shouldn't be bonds. So basically, if you do have, let's say you do have some investment into the local bank, but it's some deposit, I don't know, for 1 year or for 1 year and a half, what you can do, you can just like renew, I would say, this deposit, because the letter which the bank would issue should be current dated. Yeah. So for example, if you did the deposit 1 year ago and you want to use it for golden visa, it will work only in case you renew your deposit, let's say from today for 2 more years. So in this case, the bank would be able to issue the letter addressed to immigration, and yeah, you can get your visa based on this. All right, let's discuss some more questions. Okay, we have a question here. Is it necessary to be salary written in bank statement since I get salary of 35,000 dirhams and it comes from my company, but in the narration, it's not written that it's salary? So basically, what should be taken into consideration when we're doing Golden Visa based on high salary? So the salary should be 30K, as I mentioned. In terms of bank statements, we do understand that it really depends on the bank. Sometimes in the description, it's not clearly like mentioned that it's salary. The main idea is that you should receive regular transfer from the company where you are working, right? And the name of the company should be seen, right? If it's a regular transfers coming to your bank account each month, let's say you receive salary each month, first of month, right? First day of month. So in this case, it still will be fine as soon as we can justify what these transactions are. And it's seen that these transactions are from your company. Okay, so we have a question here. What about exceptional teachers with lot of awards and accreditation? So again, as I mentioned, there are a lot of requirements and exceptional cases. So if you are not sure like 100% whether your case would be qualified and approved for 10-year visa, I would suggest you just to book a consultation with one of our specialists, because it's really hard to, answer the question without seeing all of the documents. So the best thing to do is to be in touch with one of our team members and share the documents so that we can check everything and advise and confirm whether your case would be qualified for 10-year golden visa. So I also have a question in terms of like salary and allowances. We do have a lot of cases when, let's say, the total salary is 30,000, but in the UAE, it's often like distributed. Yeah, and it's mentioned like basic salary, house allowances, transportation, etc. So the main idea is that you need to receive this amount of minimum 30,000 dirhams each month. It shouldn't be like your basic salary. It also can include house allowances and transportation, etc. So, but what is important to know here is that commission is not considered as your salary. Yeah, it's kind of separate. So you need to demonstrate that your total salary is 30,000 or above, and it should be mentioned not just in your should be seen not only in your bank statement, but you also should demonstrate it by providing salary certificate from the company and employment contract. So basically all of the documents should demonstrate your eligibility, your salary, and your position, of course. All right. Let me just check the time. Okay, I graduated from university in Dubai with a UK degree. What is the process of applying for Golden Visa in the students category? All right, so for students, it's basically you should have GPA of 3.8 or more. Also, any additional certificate issued by university or Ministry of Education would for sure support your case. I wouldn't say that there are exact list of required documents for students applying for Golden Visa. Again, it's better to check, check it case by case. So you can just share your documents, which you believe might support your case. The specialist would check them and advise you what exactly is missing in case anything is missing and not enough for Golden Visa. so that we can make sure that your case is strong enough for your 10-year visa to be approved. All right. Amar is asking, can you sell the property once you get the visa to buy some other property? Yeah, it's actually a very good question. When you get Golden Visa based on property ownership, you basically, you cannot sell it for 2 years. However, what you can do, for example, you have a property value of 2 million dirhams, right? You get Golden Visa based on this property ownership, but then you want to sell this property, but you still want to have your Golden Visa, right? In case you have another property with the same value of 2 million or more, you basically can just switch the property information through Dubai Land Department. Again, if you're not sure how to do it, we are always here to support you with this. So you basically have several options, right? You either can switch the property information in case you have another object, or another option would be, let's say you decided you don't want to be a UAE resident and you want just to sell property. In this case, you would just need to get your visa canceled first, and then you would be able to sell your property. Okay, we have one question from Ivan. Let me read it for you. Question related to property owner option 2. Down payment is per bank requirement 20%. Does it mean that after placing the down payment, paying all other taxes and finalizing the property purchase, which costs 3 million point 4, we are getting automatically qualified? I'm sponsoring my wife and 2 babies. Title deed will have both wives and my name. Does it change circumstances? All right, Ivan, thank you very much for your question. So let's discuss it. Basically, as I mentioned, what matters here in terms of Golden Visa based on property ownership is the value of the property mentioned in the title deed itself. So, and again, DLD, they removed the requirement in terms of the minimum paid up amount. So even if you just did 20% of down payment into the bank for the property, it's totally fine as long as your value of the property is above 2 million. So for example, if you have title deed under your name and your wife's as well, it's totally fine. You still can get your Golden Visa. Just in this scenario, we would need your marriage certificate attested for the UAE, and you would be like the main applicant and Golden Visa holder. After that, you would be able to sponsor your wife as well as your kids. For kids visa, you would need to provide birth certificates attested for the UAE in case these documents were issued outside of the UAE. All right. So I believe we discussed some of the questions already. I have 3 questions. Yeah, again, the question, we cannot sell the property while Golden Visa is valid. You can sell the property in 2 years, or you can sell it earlier. You'll just need to switch to another property if you have one. Is Golden Visa renewable? So basically, yeah, it's visa for 10 years. So in 10 years, you would need to renew it. Basically, in case it's property ownership Golden Visa, you would need to provide, again, documents confirming that you do have a property. In case it's high salary based, you would need to provide the current dated documents, including your bank statement, your salary certificate, and your visa. But in general, yeah, it's renewable. But you always need to, have all required documents in 10 years to provide it to immigration or to Dubai Land Department for your visa to be renewed. What about equivalency certificates? So in terms of equivalency certificate, basically it's not required for all Emirates as of now. For example, for Dubai, immigration, they in most cases, they do not request equivalency certificate. However, in Northern Emirates, now what we can see through our experience that the immigration does request equivalency certificate. And of course, you'll also need to provide your bachelor's degree attested. But again, it's totally fine if you have bachelor's degree fully attested for the UAE, we can also assist you and get you equivalency certificate for the process of your golden visa. Okay, let's just cover little bit more questions. Unfortunately, we don't have time to discuss all of them, but guys, you please feel free to address all of the questions, book a consultation with one of our specialists to, to discuss each case. Okay, let's just discuss some of them. If I have two objects with a total value of more than 2 million, should they both be billed by 40%? Okay, so in this case, what I want to mention in terms of this question, actually, if you have one property and the value is less than 2 million, right? But you have one more property and together they give a value of 2 million, we can just use two properties to get your golden visa. In terms of off-plan properties, as I mentioned, it really depends on different things, such as percentage of completion of your objects, as well as a name of the developer. So it's approved on like each case by case basis. So it's better to check it in advance because there are some requirements, like general requirements, yeah, but again, as I mentioned, we are able to receive exceptional approvals. So that's why we'll just need to receive your documents to confirm your eligibility for Golden Visa. Okay. I think we have a couple of more minutes to discuss questions. So we have one more question about equivalency certificate. As I mentioned, it can be required. It really depends on the emirate and on each case, but you're always welcome to just share your documents with us so that we can check and confirm in advance whether the list of the documents which you have would be enough for your visa to be approved in case something is missing and you don't have, let's say, equivalency certificate, which is not required for all cases, as I mentioned. We would just advise you properly how to do it, or we would assist ourselves with getting you equivalency certificate. Okay. I've heard green visa valid for 5 years for 1 million property. What are your views? So as I mentioned, it's called a retirement visa, which you can get if you have a property value of 1 million, right? So it's not green visa, it's retirement visa. And it can be applicable for those who are 55 years old or above. And another option, if you have a property value of 1 million, would be to get 2-year visa based on property ownership. One of you guys are asking, how do I connect to a specialist? So as soon as we finish our webinar, you will receive links where you will be able to book a consultation with one of our specialists. So you can feel free to book anytime convenient for you. you will receive initial consultation, then just share your documents, and we would advise you properly on your exact case. Manish is asking about Silver Visa. So guys, Silver Visa is handled by my colleagues from company information department. So if you do have some questions about Silver Visa, please feel free to book a consultation or address your questions through email. And then again, there would be consultation booked for you with the relevant specialist to provide you with all of the necessary information. Can you please share the copy of the presentation? So you will be able to find the this video of webinar online in YouTube, right, or in LinkedIn, in our Instagram. So please feel free to watch it again if you want to just listen to one more time. Or again, another option would be just to book a consultation with one of our specialists. Okay, we have some questions which are repeating. I have a salary of 40,000 working in free zone company in Dubai as a business development manager. Would I be qualified for Golden Visa? So from the information which you provided, you would be qualified as soon as all of this information also can be demonstrated through documents such as bank statement, salary certificate, employment contract. Again, it's a very specific question, so I would advise you to book a consultation and discuss your case. But in general, what I've seen, yes, I believe you would be qualified for this type of visa. So Michael is asking, is there any exception for managerial position? Like the salary of 30K is less than 6 months. So in this case, we would need to wait until you get 6 months bank statement for your visa to be approved. One of you is asking, is it a free consultation? Yes, sure, it's totally free. So please book a consultation and talk to the specialist, discuss your exact case and enjoy benefits. All right, guys, we have just around 10 minutes left. So let's move back to the presentation, as there is something else I wanted to discuss with you, which is really important. Just a second. Okay. So for all people who have any type of assets in the UAE, I want to let you know, guys, that it's very important to consider getting a will in the UAE. So basically, there are different reasons, why is it important? Because probably some of you knows that in the UAE, Sharia law can be applied while distributing your assets. So to ensure that all of your assets are distributed as per your own instruction, right? You need to have a will to protect your business, to protect your personal bank accounts, to protect your property assets, because otherwise it would, like, your family members would have to come through long and difficult court procedures. So yeah, it's really very important to get a will for all people who have assets, even for those who don't have property, because company is also an asset. Your personal bank account is an asset, right? So it's very significant thing to consider. Let's discuss what exactly can happen in case you don't have a will, right? So your personal and your business bank account may be frozen until the court determines the distribution of your assets. And again, as I mentioned, Sharia law is applied here in the UAE. So this process, first of all, can take from months to years for your family members to receive access to your assets in the UAE. And again, you never know how exactly your assets would be distributed by the court decision. All right, so let's just discuss types of will. Yeah, we have some more minutes. So basically, from our side, we would advise you 2 types of will in the UAE. We're gonna just discuss them briefly. It's DFC will and Abu Dhabi civil will. There are some advantages of getting each of them. Let's just discuss the main points. So basically, DFC will was introduced in 2019, and Abu Dhabi will was introduced 2021. So in terms of language of will process, DFC will would be done fully in English. In terms of Abu Dhabi civil will, it would be done in both English and Arabic. So in terms of types of wills, in DFC, there are 5 types, but usually we recommend general will from our side. Let me briefly explain what it means. Basically, it's a will when you don't mention the specific names of your assets, you don't mention the details of your assets, so that in case, let's say today you would like to, you arrange a will today, right? And then in a couple of years, you purchase more properties or you establish more companies, open more bank accounts. So in this case, general will would cover all of your assets, right? And you wouldn't have to keep amending this will and paying money for this, right? So it's really convenient thing to consider. And with Abu Dhabi civil will, there is one type only. We can either use a court sample of the will or we can submit a tailor-made will. But again, what I would say from my side, from our experience, is that DFC will really goes much smoother and faster to get it, right? So if you want to make sure that not only you'll have a will quickly, but also it will be much easier in terms of execution of this will, we would suggest to get DFC will for sure. All right, so these are the main points of wills. So from my side, I also want to mention that unfortunately, we did have some cases when our clients didn't arrange wills and they had companies, they had properties, they had business and personal bank accounts and even joint accounts. And it's really a headache in terms of assets distribution. Believe me, you don't want your family go through this. So it's really important for all people who have any type of assets in the UAE and also outside, take care of your will. So if you need any assistance, we do provide this service. So again, you're welcome to book a consultation with one of our specialists who would be able to provide you with all necessary information and advise you accordingly based on your exact case. So we have like 3 more minutes. Let's just come back to some questions we had. So we have a question here, can a self-employed obtain a golden visa? So basically, I'm not sure what you mean by self-employed. For example, what I want to like let you know, in case you are the owner of the company, right? And basically at the same time, you work as a general manager for your company. As long as you have an employment visa, and it's mentioned that you are a general manager or you are executive director, even so you are the owner of the company, you still can get your 10-year visa based on your high position in case you receive salary from your own company, which is, again, very good thing to consider, I believe. All right. Yeah, guys, I believe that's the main points I wanted to describe to you. I really hope that this presentation, this webinar was useful for you. I understand there are a lot of questions which I didn't have an opportunity to answer for you, but please feel free to book a consultation with one of our specialists and just let professionals do it for you so that you can just be concentrated on your life, on your business, on your work, and we will just assist you with getting your 10-year visa and you can just enjoy its benefits. Thank you very much, guys, and enjoy your day.